Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, what we're going to talk about on this episode of the Bullet Points is something that came out of Florida. Now, this was in the Senate debate between Marco Rubio, the sitting incumbent, and Val Demings, the Democrat gun control wannabe senator. Now, this is something that I need to see a lot more of from the Republicans, not just when they're campaigning, but when they're legislating. Because the points and the power that Marco Rubio delivers here to support the Second Amendment and disprove gun control was not only spectacularly strong, but it also puts the gun control perspective completely on defense, which then defaults to an emotional reaction. This is the way we need to go forward across the board, not just when we're being elected or potentially elected. Everything is linked in the description box below. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think of these clips because this is some powerful stuff. I'm going to say a quick word from our sponsor, Established Titles, and then we're going to dive into this. Again, can't wait to hear what you guys think. The Established Title Packs give you 1 square foot of dedicated land in an estate in Edelston, Scotland, along with a certified crest like you see right here. This is based on a historic Scottish custom which will allow landowners to become lords or ladies, and if you act now, you can be in the LOA little plot so we can have our own little fiefdom. This is a fun and novel way to preserve the woodlands of Scotland. They work with global charities, One Tree Planted and Trees for Our Future to support global reforestation efforts. You could officially change your name to Lord or Lady and get it on your plane tickets and also on your credit cards. This makes a great last minute gift, and they have couple packs which you can get adjoining plots of land together. In order to give the ultimate conversation piece for that special someone, Established Titles is running a massive sale right now. Plus, if you use the code Langley, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/Langley to support the channel now. All right, my brothers and sisters, so as I mentioned, we're going to go into a clip with Marco Rubio versus Val Demings. Now, keep in mind, Marco Rubio, I'll say the elephant in the room, he's got a bit of a checkered past with gun rights versus gun control. Currently, in the moment of this conversation, he is spot on. Now, again, where that leads in the future or different stances, I cannot say. But what I can tell you is the way that he presents his case here is exceptionally strong, and we can glean information from that. Enough of the setup. Let me show you what's going on. Everything is always linked per usual. Let's get it. Marco Rubio tells Val Demings in debate, gun control laws don't work. Now, something very important to state here, Marco Rubio has seemed to reverse his position on increasing the age of firearms from 18 to 21. He seems to say that doesn't work now. That is a reversal. Fair, I'm just calling it what it is. But let's check this out. Republican Senator Marco Rubio has defended his reversal on raising the age to purchase rifles, saying recent mass situations show that gun control laws are too easily circumvented. Of course they're easily circumvented. The whole point is gun control doesn't work because criminals are going to criminal. That's the entire point. And he actually comes with some very, very powerful examples here. But before I ruin the advance, check this out. Debate moderator Todd McDermott asked Rubio about remarks he made in 2018 following the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting in Parkland, Florida, when a 19-year-old gunman killed 17 and injured 17 more. Rubio said during a CNN town hall that the federal minimum age to purchase a rifle should be raised from 18. McDermott asked Rubio if he still supported doing so. Now, to Rubio's credit, he has backed off of that position. He's openly said it doesn't work. In fact, he even said it right here in this clip. Like I said, credit where credit's due, but it shouldn't have happened in the beginning. But let's go.
Let me tell you why that law doesn't work and why that proposal doesn't work. We had a shooter last Thursday, tragic, in North Carolina. He was 15. Where did he get the gun? He didn't get it from a gun show. He certainly didn't buy it. He's 15 years of age. We've had shootings in the state. Pulse was a terrorist attack. A licensed security guard with a permit to carry firearms, extensive background check. The guy in Parkland, this killer, everybody knew who it was. Even before they announced who the person was, everybody in the community knew who it was because this guy had long...
So he nailed it there. He said a few different things which were extremely powerful. If you look at all the individual crimes that are occurring, this person, the 15-year-old, could not have bought a gun legally. That can't happen. He shouldn't have had the gun in his possession. That couldn't have happened. How's that possible? He didn't buy it from a gun show, kind of a little stab at the gun show loophole argument. Then he goes into all the different occurrences which completely disprove gun control's reported outcomes, but ignores the idea that the rights of the Second Amendment for everyday citizens are being circumvented, to use the language here. But now let's go into the second clip because this is where you start to see a few of the responses. He's got a really good response. One more just to kind of pile on. Then I'm going to show you the Democrat gun control response. Remember what I said in the intro. Forces them to the emotional argument.
The truth of the matter is, at the end of the day, that Americans have a Second Amendment right to protect themselves. They have, and these killers that are out there, if they're intent on killing, as they are, they have found multiple ways to get a hold of weapons and cause mass destruction. Just the other day, he used a shotgun, which would have been covered by any of these.
So again, he goes back to that exact same point. Criminals are going to criminals. That's essentially what he's saying there. He even mentions shotguns. He mentions underage. All the ways that laws and gun control laws are circumvented. That's the whole point. You can take away all the guns in the entire universe, but you're still going to find ways for criminals to criminal. That's the whole point of what he's saying. But this is the important piece. The more facts that we lay bare, the more parts of the conversation we bring forward like this, it forces the gun control argument into an emotional, non-fact-based point. Check this out. Listen to her points here. This is incredibly important.
Every time we talk about responsible gun ownership and legislation that could help protect lives, you pull the Second Amendment out. My father was a gun owner. Has nothing to do with the Second Amendment. This is about taking dangerous guns out of the hands of dangerous people. And the overwhelming majority of people in our nation want us to do just that.
Okay, did you notice that? She started down the emotional response and she raised her voice in a crescendo to an applause point. That's because it's based off of an emotional reaction. She said a lot of things there that were extremely questionable. For example, every time we talk about infringing upon Second Amendment rights, you bring out that Second Amendment again. Yeah, that's the point. Shall not be infringed doesn't mean except in the case of your perceived safety. The other thing here is she goes into the second point that gun controllers do frequently. My father was a gun owner, so? My father was a banker. Does that mean I'm a banker? No, it doesn't mean anything. It's just a point that you're trying to connect. The whole thing here is it doesn't make sense on any level, especially when you push them into the emotional side. Then the last thing that she said with the crescendo up into the majority of people want to take away gun rights, that's not true at all. That is a push poll that they decided to put out there and has been disproved multiple times on this channel alone. And that's what I've got for you guys. The more stuff, the more arguments that we see coming from Republicans like this, again, not saying Marco Rubio is the standard, but in this case, it's a good case in point. It pushes the gun control argument to the emotional, away from the fact-based, and that is where they lose. That's what I've got for you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments field below, and I will see you on the next episode. I'm Braden. See you later.